No, right? Because yes, they're both Whoville, but then Whoville and Horton Hears a Who was on a speck on a clover, and
Hmm.
Whoville and the Grinch was on a snowflake. Also, I'm horrified by the implications of what happens when that snowflake melts. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that the other day, but I don't think we have time to unpack
Yeah,
that.
no, that might have to be
That'll be for part
part
two.
two. Welcome to episode 19 of the Adventure Lives On podcast.
With this episode releasing right before Christmas, we've decided to do a behind the scenes deep dive into all of the on screen adaptations of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So we'll be looking at fun facts and behind the scenes information about the original 1966 animated special, the 2000 live action movie with Jim Carrey, and the more recent 3D animated Illumination Grinch movie. Buckle up
Grab your cup of coffee
and get ready to live the adventure
in
in
the
the
Universal
Universal
theme
theme
parks
parks
and
and
beyond.
beyond. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm here
You hanging in there best you
hanging in
can?
there. Yep, that is exactly it.
Me too. Give you an idea of how my day's going. My dinner was a Christmas cookie, half a bottle of water, and two ibuprofen.
Oh no. Um, I had cabbage soup.
Oh, nice. That sounds more responsible and filling than what I had.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we maybe should have had some like planned ahead and had some roast beast or something
Yeah, maybe next year we'll make ourselves some hoo hash.
next year. Yes. I have always been excited about this episode,
Me
and
too.
I'm I'm even more excited now.
Me too. I've been thinking about it all day and all yesterday. I did so much research over the weekend and then I rewatched the Jim Carrey movie last night and it has
Mm.
just been so entirely and completely in my brain, just taking over all day.
As it should. I watched the original today, and I mean
Okay.
the three of them sort of almost play on a loop in my house from Thanksgiving to Christmas. But it's been a few weeks since I actually sat down and watched the two newer ones all the way through.
Mm.
I was hoping to do a whole marathon sometime in the last week to really refresh myself, but the children have been on another level lately.
Ah.
So, that has not happened, but that's okay. It's not like it's been that long since I've seen him. It's only been a few weeks, but
Mm.
yeah, it's been nuts.
I haven't seen the original in a while, but I do remember most of it, and I watched some clips as I was doing research
Mhm.
last weekend. I watched the Jim Carrey one the other night, and then I saw the Illumination one last year. It was the most recent, I think, and then I saw pieces of it last week when my mom and dad were watching it.
Mhm.
So I'm caught up enough, I think. And I
Yeah.
did research.
Enough
So,
research. Yeah. He probably did more hours of research than all three of the movies combined.
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Um, and today when I put on the original, um, it showed that it was an hour and a half. Like an hour and a half. I do not remember this movie being that long.
That
And
sounds long.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, and it ended, but then other things started playing after it.
Uh,
So, uh, okay. And it was called, it's on Prime. I forget what it was called. Not extended version, but something different.
hmm.
Um, so I'm curious to see what else. Hey, stop. I'm curious to see what else is going to play because the very next one that came on was The Grinch with the cat,
Hmm.
which I've never seen. So,
Yeah, that's
and
news to me.
but there's still a whole hour of movie. So I can't imagine that one being longer than The Grinch. So how many of these things are there?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go watch that later on. And in when I was a kid, I don't know if they were all this way or if it was just the VHS tape that I had, but the original Grinch VHS tape that I had, when the Grinch movie ended, it went into Horton Hears a Who.
Oh, okay.
Like the old school cartoon Horton Hears a Who. And that's my favorite version of there are only two of those, right? That one and the
Yeah, and then the animated one, the well,
yeah.
CG animated.
Yeah. And I liked the original better,
Okay.
I
I don't
think.
really remember much of the original. I mostly just remember the newer one.
Well, and you've got 3 pages, you probably have more than 3 pages of notes at this point. I have a little over a page of notes, but my notes aren't super detailed. I'm curious to see though where we overlap. So
Yeah, I will
do
say I have a
you,
lot more about the Jim Carrey movie than I do about the original.
okay, I also do, I think. I my notes, as organized as I am, my notes today are not super organized. I have just random section of notes on all of it, and then notes on the OG, the live action, and the Illuminations. So,
Okay.
I might skip around a little bit. Um, but you can't be menacing tonight, bud. Do you want to start with a comparison? Do you want to go movie by movie? How are your notes set up?
Well, I didn't even really look into the Illumination one because I didn't really know if there was going to be much to find. I kind of mostly compared the 66 version with the live action,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I feel like it might be easiest to go movie by movie, kind of like what we did with the monsters. Because I think when we tried to go back and forth and compare things, we kind of got a little confused as to what was where
Okay.
and lost track
Um,
of.
that works. So then what I'm gonna do just real quick is highlight all of the stuff at
Okay.
the top here that fits in. Um, I think most of the stuff from the my random things is just from the live action.
Okay. Side
Mm,
note, while you're doing that, I was very disappointed that I was not able to find anything Grinch related, like any sweaters or t-shirts or anything at Walmart. I really wanted to wear a Grinch shirt. So that's
wow.
why I'm in my green sweater with a red button up underneath. That was as close as I could get to Christmassy right now. But oh, you
Oh no, you
disappeared.
can't see me. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
there it
hold on.
is.
I'm mirrored. Oh, whatever. It's a Grinch shirt.
I saw him for a second there. I figured you would have something. I thought about
Oh,
it last
dear.
week and then I forgot, and I went to check this afternoon and they didn't have anything. But believe me, if I had given myself the prep time, I would have showed up tonight in full Grinch makeup, prosthetics, and contacts and all.
That would have been awesome.
Maybe
Uh,
I'll try to plan that for next Christmas.
Next Christmas. Yeah. And I have a Grinch Christmas hat, but I
Oh,
keep all of the Christmas Day stuff in the attic until closer.
mm,
Just, I can't have all the stuff
okay.
everywhere. So it's still up there. And I did not have it
I
down here.
was
I didn't think about it in time to pull it down.
That's the other thing that I was hoping to find was like a furry green Christmas hat, and I couldn't find that
Mm.
anywhere. At one point, I was getting desperate, and I was actually considering making myself a big reindeer antler to put on my head.
Did you try Second and Charles?
I did not. I wasn't
Mhm.
even thinking about that. I just thought about Hobby Lobby and Walmart because I know that's where I had been seeing Grinch stuff.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby usually has a ton of Grinch stuff.
Mostly decorations, though. I didn't see anything
Mhm.
wearable.
Bummer. Um,
Yeah.
well, in my whole mess at the top, everything was live action except one. So, yeah, this is almost an entire page of stuff on the live action.
Okay.
Cool. Well, you want to start with the OG?
Yeah, I think we should because, like I said, I have mostly Jim Carrey notes. I think you do too,
Hmm.
so that'll probably be the majority of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Um, well, why don't you go first? Do you want to?
Okay. I guess the most obvious place to start with the original animated Grinch, which is from 1966, is that the narrator and voice of the Grinch was Boris Karloff,
Yes.
Frankenstein's monster, who people will hopefully remember from our Universal Monsters behind the scenes episode from a few weeks back.
And the mummy, right?
Yes, and the Mummy, and several others over time
Yes,
because it seems
very,
like they all kind of traded places as they filmed those movies.
yes, very well known in the Universal classic monster scene.
He's
Um,
Universal's, I guess, the face of Universal for Halloween and Christmas.
yes, yes. Um, and he recorded the whole narration in one day.
Did he?
He did,
I had
which
not seen that. That's interesting.
funny enough, not to move into the next one, but this I thought was interesting. I also read that the narration for the live action was also recorded all in one sitting.
That I did have in my notes. I thought that was funny.
Uh, so recorded all in one day. And oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the other person we should mention, if we're talking about narration and voices and things, is that Boris Karloff, as great as he is as an actor, he didn't sing for the Grinch. You're a
Yes.
Mean One, Mr. Grinch was sung by Thurl Ravenscroft, who I personally love hearing his voice on The Haunted Mansion as one of the singing
Hmm.
busts in the graveyard. But I think more people probably know him as Tony the Tiger.
Yes, Toe the Tiger. Um, so he Grim Grinning Ghost, that is how I know his name. Grim Grinning Ghost plays on repeat at my house. Chloe loves it. It's one of her
Oh,
all-time favorite
me
songs.
too.
And
If it's not Nightmare Before Christmas, it's that over here.
yep, over and over again. Which works for me because it's like a 7 minute long song and we only have to listen to it once or twice versus
Ah,
the, minute and a half songs that I listen to 200 times.
yeah. I love Monster Mash, but you can only hear it so many times before you need a
So many
break.
times. Yes. But Thurl Ravenscroft was not even credited for this at that point.
I did know that. I heard that Dr. Seuss felt bad about that after the fact and had written him a letter, personally apologized, and made
Oh.
sure that all the newspapers who were reviewing it when it came
Mhm.
out included him after the fact and gave him the credit he deserved.
Good. That's good of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. Apparently, I heard from somebody saying in an interview that they did with him years later, until somebody had brought it up, he forgot he even did it because I heard that he recorded that in a day in one take because they had caught him as he was leaving the studio.
Hmm.
And he was like, "All right, fine, I'll do it," and then just kind of forgot about it and went on with his life.
Wow. That's wild. And, I noticed too on not getting credited, Dr. Seuss in the credits, he's not Dr. Seuss. He goes by his actual name.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now it
I
says,
had never,
Dr. Seuss, the Grinch, Dr. Seuss, whatever.
but they
But
listed him as Ted Gaisel.
yes,
Huh.
yes, they did.
I never paid attention to that. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have known his real name as a kid, but
Yeah. Well, I paid attention. I watched when I was watching it today.
mhm.
Um, I watched all the credits, which before something odd, and I think it was this time period too, because I noticed that on the Phantom of the Opera and some of the other older movies. But the actors, they only put in the beginning credits, not the end credits. The end credits
Oh,
was only the like producer and
and all the crew.
others, yeah, all the crew type roles.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Just older movies, I guess,
I
that did
guess.
that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because it was common also when we were looking into the Halloween stuff, the classic monsters and all.
That the credits for the actors were all at the beginning. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I guess the next thing I have as far as people who need credit for what they did on this, that I never put two and two together until now, that it was directed by Chuck Jones, who did Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry,
Oh.
and that he actually knew Dr. Seuss because he had helped animate some World War II propaganda cartoons that Seuss had written scripts for. And then a few years later, when after Grinch had gotten popular, he reached out and said, "Hey, we should turn this into an animated movie."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did not know that. And when they turned it into the movie, that movie is when he got his green color. The book was black and
Ah,
white.
you're right. I forgot about that. It's been
Um,
so long since I've
mhm.
actually looked through the book.
The book and the yellow eyes.
Yeah, because he
They
was
added in
all
the
just a
movie.
white, just black and white
Hmm.
outline with the red eyes. Yeah.
Yep. And fun side fact, I have one of the first edition Grinch books.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that is so cool.
I believe it is first edition. Okay, from my research, it seems to be, but I have not had it like professionally authenticated or anything.
Mm.
But I believe it is.
Either way, that's cool that you have something that even could be a first edition.
Yes. And I bought it in Hawaii, of all places.
Wow.
Yeah, there it was a
Okay.
shop that had just kind of random older things.
Like an antique shop, sort of?
No.
No?
It was odd. It was odd. So the store they also sold new things. It was
Hmm.
mostly new things, but there were these just random things that you would see in kind of a not a thrift store,
More
shoot,
like a
what'd you
flea
just
market
call
type
it?
thing?
Yeah, but the nicer
Like an
ones.
antique store?
Yeah, yeah, the one you
Something
said,
like
antique
that.
store. Yeah. There were a few things in there that looked like they belonged in antique stores that were obviously secondhand, but then a lot
Huh.
of other things, it's like new clothes. And it was a boutique. That's it. A boutique
Okay.
that had a lot of new, like mostly new things, and then just a couple of random old things spread out. Uh, but it was in the window, and I was visiting Hawaii. That's when Madison lived there. I was
Oh, yeah.
visiting them
Okay.
for Christmas, and we're just walking around, and it was displayed in one of the windows. Like, we have to go look at this. And it was pretty expensive. So, I can't buy it. I can't justify it. We walked around for another couple hours, and when it was time to leave, like, I have to go back. I gotta go get this book. And I did.
Yeah, I
So,
know that feeling. I've done that with a
mhm.
couple of comic books, like first appearances of characters and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really cool though.
Because this, which we haven't mentioned yet, I guess what our favorites are, but the original is my favorite.
Okay, see, I've always been partial to the Jim Carrey one.
Mhm.
And I love it even more now, having watched it being old enough to get all the jokes.
Yeah, now I love the Jim Carrey one. It's a close second, but I was a big Grinch fan before the Jim Carrey one came out.
Mm,
And so I loved it. I appreciated it, but the 1966, that's the one.
okay. I always did like it as a kid because I
Mhm.
had I had and probably I think still do somewhere in the attic. I have so many Dr. Seuss books from when I was a kid. My mom used to
Mhm.
get them for me all the time. And so I definitely was a Grinch fan and Cat in the Hat. Um, but yeah, I think my family, if we were gonna watch Grinch, it was always Jim Carrey. Other than that, what we usually would watch at Christmas and as far as animated stuff would be more of like Frosty and Rudolph and those.
Mhm. The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Loved Year Without a Santa
Love that
Claus.
one.
Yeah, that was another one because Snow Miser and Heat Miser I always thought were
Yes.
really cool. I love their
Yes.
songs.
Um, so do the kids, which I love.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yes.
It
I love
always
the
makes
heat
me
miser with
happy
all
to
that there.
hear that the kids like all the things that we like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's intentional or something. I gotta indoctrinate them.
But that doesn't always stick, so it's cool to see that they do like the
Yeah.
things that you enjoy, so you get to like them together.
Yes, you are right. All right. I only have one other thing for the original.
Oh, I've got a few. Oh,
Okay.
more than
Wow.
more than a few
Oh,
actually.
you've done so much better than me. Oh my
I sat at
gosh.
I sat at Starbucks and I really just zoned in. I got myself a
Hmm.
hot chocolate. I put my brain in work mode and I was there for like 2 or 3 hours
Oh,
with
wow.
my laptop.
Oh. Yeah, I wish I would have loved. I mean, I spent a decent amount of time researching these, but last week, as you know, I spent most of the week sick,
Yeah.
and Nick was traveling, and I had a sick kid. So,
Hmm.
oh man, there just was not enough time in the day to do as much research as I wanted to do.
No, I get
But
it.
I'm interested. I'm really excited to hear what else you found. Um, the original had a budget of $315,000,
Wow.
which at the time was
That's
huge, especially
yeah,
for a
for
30-minute.
1966.
Yeah,
That's
and not even a full-length movie. It was a 30-minute
yeah.
long. And that was the most expensive cartoon of its time.
Wow.
And that budget allowed them to do brighter colors, better animation, um, and
Huh.
more elaborate, yeah, colors, animation,
I'm
and quality.
glad you found that because
Mhm.
that's something I did not know. That's what I love about doing these episodes is
Yeah.
we get to share new stuff with each other,
Hmm.
learn more about the
Yes.
things we like.
And I do want to know at the end where you looked, because I'm sure we
Okay.
approached the research differently.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm curious too.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what else do I have? So I had mentioned that Chuck Jones came to Seuss about making the animated version of Grinch because it had been
Mhm.
so popular as a book. Originally, he was uninterested because he had worked on another movie that was a complete commercial flop. It was, I am blanking on the name of it. I should have put it in the notes. But he had made a movie that didn't do well, and he was basically like, nah, I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not getting involved with another movie. And what won him over was hearing the lyrics to Welcome Christmas because it reassured him that the movie was going to stay true to his style and the heart of the world that
Hmm.
he had built.
Oh,
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
yeah.
And you mentioned that the budget allowed for better animation. Well, it was drawn at 24 frames per second. So a new drawing every 2 frames meant they had to do 12 drawings for every second of film. And that totaled to over 17,000 drawings that were done in 6 months.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Ugh. And I thought stop motion was rough trying to make a
Ye-
like a 2 or 3 minute movie.
Yeah. Jeez, could you imagine? I would love to see if they would have made it a live action movie back then. What would it have looked like?
Oh man, that would be something.
And especially when you got Boris Karloff in it, and you know he's got the connections to
Oh
the
yeah.
monsters.
You're saying if they had cast him as a live action Grinch?
Hmm. That'd have
That would have
been
been
cool.
interesting. Yeah. Speaking of the look of the Grinch, I didn't realize this until it was pointed out to me, but when doing the research, I found out that if you look at pictures side by side, um, the Grinch has Chuck Jones's eyebrows and smile. Because you know
Ah,
how they say artists tend to put a little bit of themselves into their work.
hmm.
There was a side by side picture. He had the same kind of bushy, arched eyebrows, and his smile kind of curved the same way. I was like, yeah, it does kind of look like Chuck Jones. So I thought that was kind of neat. Um, oh, and I am not personally familiar with this name, but the man who wrote the music was Albert Haig, who was a Tony Award winning writer. And apparently, while he was being considered for the job, he invited Seuss over to his house, and after playing him just one chorus of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, Seuss said that anybody who can jump a whole octave on the word Grinch should get the job, and that's how he got involved with the project.
Wow.
I thought you'd appreciate that one,
Yes.
music nerds and
Yes.
all.
Definitely can appreciate that one.
And I think we've also talked before. Another thing, speaking of sound, that I really love is Foley art and sound recording, doing sound effects after the
Hmm.
fact. And I found a few interesting ones. The sound of Grinch sawing Max's antlers off was done with a violin.
Okay, I can hear that.
Yeah,
I can hear that.
dragging the bow across the
Uh-huh.
strings. The footsteps crunching in the snow as he's sneaking around are somebody crunching on potato chips.
I'm never gonna be able to listen to that the same way again.
I know. That's what I love about learning this stuff. It's either like, okay, now I'm never going to unhear this, but also
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to think about.
Yes.
And then whenever he's stealing Christmas and he tosses the bags back out of the chimney and they land on the roof,
Hmm.
somebody biting into an apple, the crunch of them hitting the snow.
Wow.
And I don't have solid confirmation on this, but in one video that I watched, it looked like the squeaky sound of his footsteps sliding down the chimney whenever he's all hunched up in there
Hmm.
was somebody dragging a marker across the surface of a balloon.
Huh. I love this.
Me too.
Now I need to go watch it again, for the second
And
time today.
and keep all those things in
Hmm.
mind, yeah, and look for them.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a few more things on this one before we get to the next one. Um, oh, I thought it was kind of funny that how on story charts when you're writing, you have your rising action and then your peak where the climax is and then the falling action?
Hmm.
That's kind of literally represented in The Grinch because he goes up Mount Crumpet with the sleigh. His
Uh-huh.
climax with his change of heart is literally at the mountain peak, and then they go down.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little bit of fun, kind of visual storytelling that I had
Yeah.
never thought of until now. And then the last big thing that I have for this one is a fun little comparison between Grinch and Dr. Seuss, because apparently he had even said back then that Grinch was kind of a self-insert character for him and his own feelings on the
Hmm.
over-commercialization of Christmas.
Yes.
So Seuss was 53 when he wrote The Grinch, and he lived on Mount Soledad in California, overlooking as somebody in the video that I saw put it, the ritzy commercialist La Jolla suburb in California. And the Grinch in the story was 53 and
Yes.
lives on the top of Mount Crumpet, overlooking the noisy commercialist town of Whoville.
Hmm.
So, minor parallels there.
Yeah. And I did see something, but I didn't know how true it was. And that's the thing too. There were some things I included or didn't include because I wasn't able to substantiate it enough.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things I read, though, is that he saw a lot of the Grinch in himself and the way that he was looking at Christmas and the whole holiday season and realized he needs to maybe make a little bit of a change.
That's really funny. But I guess they say right what you know, right?
Yep.
And that is all I have for the 1966 Grinch.
All right. Well, then that is a wrap. I have very little on the Illuminations. Do you want to do Illuminations next and then we can spend
Yeah.
a lot of time? All right.
Yeah, let's see what you have
Cool.
on that.
Uh, this one was so much different than the other two, and
Yeah.
I still don't know how much I like it. I like the
I'm
soundtrack.
I'm in the exact same boat. The soundtrack is good. I think Benedict
Yes.
Cumberbatch is not bad. Other
Hmm.
than that, I could
Eh,
take it or leave it.
yeah. Right. And
There are a
I
couple
think,
funny moments, but
yeah, there are a couple funny moments. They changed the Grinch though.
yeah.
He's a completely different character.
And
And
so
in
is
this
Cindy Lou.
one, and so is Cindy Lou, yes. And I like that she plays a huge role in it, and she really didn't in the first one. But
Hmm.
she, like you said, yeah, she's a completely different character. The the plot is completely different, whereas the first two was so similar. This is just way, I mean, yeah, Grinch Steals Christmas, but that's it. The whole Cindy Lou, the everything else seems like it's just so much different. His personality's different, and it I don't know. I love in this one that he is nice to Max for the most part because
Yeah.
he was kind of mean in the first two, and we're dog people. We like our
Yeah.
dogs.
I know. I did feel weird about some of that rewatching it.
Yeah. But no, it was just so different. The music is what's good about that one. But something interesting that I read is that Benedict Cumberbatch originally was using his British accent.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And then they said, we don't really like this. Use the American accent.
Huh.
So I don't know how
Well,
much of it was recorded. Oh, we know 10-minute
yeah.
warning.
We just did. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it not telling? Oh, because it's your,
I'm recording it. Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
It's all
but
good.
so I don't know how much of it they changed. Like I don't know how much of it they recorded before they decided to make the change, but
Yeah,
apparently it was.
I'd be curious to hear that. I wonder how different that
Hmm.
would be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you don't often hear him with his actual British accent.
No, you don't, except this one. I've seen this video all over the place and it cracks me up. Have you seen the penguin video? I know you love penguins, so I hope you have seen this.
I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
all right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't seen it. So
Okay.
he narrated some documentary, I guess it was, on penguins.
Oh, really?
And every time he said penguins, it was different. He couldn't say penguins. It's penguins, 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 penguins.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up
He
after we're
couldn't
done.
say penguins. And it's all in the British accent.
I'm definitely gonna be looking that up when we're done here.
And I haven't seen the documentary, but I have seen the interview where they're asking him, "Can you not say penguins?" And he's like, "I didn't even notice at the time." And now watching it, I'm like, "Why was I not just saying penguins?" It's so funny.
Oh, that is.
So funny. Anyway, back to the Grinch.
Yes.
I mean, I guess back to music. Danny Elfman did the music.
Mm,
And he did a lot
okay.
of the other more recent Disney music. Is it Encanto? No, shoot. I didn't put it
No,
in
that
my
was
note. Yep,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
you're right. You're right. Danny Elfman was Jack,
Yeah, Jack Skellington, the singing
Nightmare Before
voice
Christmas. Yes. Yes. So we know Danny Elfman, he's
from almost every Tim Burton movie.
yes, very, very famous. Um, what surprised me a little bit though was a lot of what he has done is older.
Hmm.
And so when they have people like Pharrell doing the
Yeah,
narration, and then I mean I'm not complaining about Danny Elfman because I think
he's great
he's
at what he
great,
does.
yes. But it's interesting to me how they kind of Pharrell, Danny Elfman in the same
Yeah. You think
movie.
Danny Elfman, you think, Tim Burton, Batman, Nightmare Before Christmas, and
Yes.
Beetlejuice, and things like
Yes.
that.
But he's got a whole new life now in the
Yeah.
Grinch. For this one, I've also got this was the highest grossing of all three of the movies, and I didn't look at the grosses for the other ones. I just saw this one was high. Um,
I know the live action, so we'll get to that one
all right,
later, but
this was 540 million worldwide. So, and
okay.
that's a lot.
Well, I guess I might as well compare that now while we're talking about it, because it's not, that big of a thing to talk about
Yeah.
later. This one, the live action was 345.1 million worldwide.
I wonder that can't be accounting for the difference, like inflation.
No, that's the thing. That was
S-
345 at the time
Yeah.
in
So
2000.
I think the live action one, without doing the math, I think the live action one
Probably has
probably.
made more if you adjust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it wouldn't surprise me though that an Illumination movie has done really well.
Yeah. And then,
Lots of people taking their kids.
yes, a lot of old, live action Grinch fans thinking this one's going to be great because the first two were so good and taking their
Yeah.
kids to see it.
Hmm.
My last thing, this is all. I only had one, two, three, this is five things. Illumination created new animation software for the Grinch and Max for their
Oh.
hair so that it flowed
Ah.
and like moved in the wind and things the way that it was supposed to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting, because I guess they didn't have any super fuzzy characters in most of their other movies, except the only one I can think is like the Lorax. But even
Yeah.
then,
And that was something that I noticed when I watched The Grinch is that the hairs are long and there you can see the individual hairs.
hmm,
It's not like when you
I do
watch
remember that.
Life of Pets. That's also Illumination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very visible difference in the fur on those dogs versus what you see on Max.
Yeah, it's more like clusters or like clumps
Hmm.
of hair versus in a bunch of individual strands.
Yes.
Huh. Well, that's cool. I may not love the movie, but at least it, was an innovation
Yeah.
in technology. That's pretty neat.
Mhm.
All right, so we're ready to move on to the big one?
Oh, is there anything else you have on Illuminations?
Oh, no. Like I said, I didn't even
Okay,
really
yeah.
touch that one. I was
Oh,
mostly just
yeah.
interested in the other two. I didn't think
Yeah,
there
you
was going to
did.
be much of anything to say about the Illumination one, honestly.
Okay. Well, we have 3.5 minutes left. Do you
Okay,
want to
so we
move
should
into
start
the
that
live
one.
action um or do you want to do any comparison, any side notes?
Um, I mean, I can talk a little bit about how this movie has actually absolutely taken over my life the past few days because I just have been so deep in it. Like literally today at
Mhm.
lunch, I'm sitting in my car, I start eating my lunch, and I'm sitting there by myself in the parking lot. I took a bite of my food and I went, "Am I just eating because I'm bored?"
That that movie is just such a good movie. And you know what?
So
There's
funny.
something I struggled with when I was doing research on this one is it's the same stuff that you find over and over and over again.
Yeah, I really did have to dig for a while to find new stuff, but I found
Mhm.
as much as I could.
Yeah. And so that's something, at least, yeah, I'm sure it seems like you had the same kind of idea that doing this, I didn't want to just come to the table with the same thing that everybody under the planet already knows. Under the planet,
Yeah.
on the planet, that everybody knows.
I don't
So
know where you're living, but I'm
I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, I think we hopefully got some pretty good stuff. And you know what else? Another challenge I was having is the AI.
yeah.
I'm watching videos and I'm like, is this actual behind the scenes? And then I see something weird. I'm like, that's not real. This is an AI video.
Yeah. It was tough
Um,
to find stuff that was a
mhm,
problem, but I combed through a bunch of videos, I looked at a few articles. I did try to do a lot of YouTube stuff because I feel like I'm
yeah.
always leery of whether or not articles are, being truthful, which it's the
Mhm.
same for videos, but if you find something is coming from an actual person who, went out of the way to do their research, and especially
Yeah.
if they post where they got their stuff from.
Hmm.
So I'm, mostly confident that the stuff that I found is accurate as much as you can be nowadays.
Yeah. And I think for the most part, I am too. And I was able to find a couple of interviews, which was cool. But then there are also a couple of
Hmm.
accounts I found on like Facebook and Instagram, and that's what they do is just deep
Just
dive
behind the
into movie.
scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if this is what they do, they've got to
They're not going to post
have
fake information for no reason.
right. Right.
Yeah. The other thing that I tried to do, because you were talking about everybody kind of having the same stuff, I tried to take some of the stuff that I've maybe heard before and dig a little deeper into it.
Okay. I like that. This is gonna be a good one. I don't think
I think
our second
so.
half is gonna be long enough.
I don't think
We
so.
might need a part two.
Yeah. Grinch might take over the rest of December.
It might. I mean, it's Grinchmas for a reason.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at that. We can push that next topic into New Year's
Yeah,
if you're okay with it.
I'm good. If we need to, I'm good with it. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see how long we go on Grinch.
Yeah, we've got less than a minute here, so I think let's switch
Yeah, let's
over.
just jump off. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I asked you first.
I'm an idiot.
You're an idiot.
You know what? I'm not talking to you anymore. In fact, I'm going to whisper so that by the time my voice reverberates off the walls and comes back to me, I won't be able to hear it.
You're an idiot. For
Thank
anyone
you.
listening, I would never actually call Jake an idiot. If you have not seen The Grinch, that is one of our favorite scenes. Except that I didn't do the repeat of his first line. I just
Yeah.
went straight into the I asked you first.
Yeah, I know we mixed it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
we got there. You got what I was doing.
I got what you were doing. You know, that was pretty good for not being planned. I think we
It was.
we came close to nailing it, and your Grinch impression is just great. Spot on.
I've been doing it in the car on the way to work. Like I said, this movie is just in there.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I thought about coming into this episode and going, are you having a holly jolly Christmas?
Oh, man. You know, speaking of that's one thing that I'm not gonna say I'm bothered by it. It doesn't really bother me, but that in all of the Seuss, all of the Whoville, the mayor is a good character. Except in this movie, when the mayor sucks.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. That's interesting. Because he really sucks
He
in this
really
movie.
sucks. Um, like there are other bad guys, like Martha May Whovier. She's not a good guy, but she's
No.
also not a bad guy. Yeah, the mayor just sucks.
Yeah.
But the mayor of Whoville is supposed to be this like helpful, really great guy, and I don't know why they. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird to me to consider the fact that like the Steve Carell mayor from the Horton Hears a Who movie and this guy. But then no, right? Because yes, they're both Whoville, but then Whoville and Horton Hears a Who was on a speck on a clover, and
Hmm.
Whoville and the Grinch was on a snowflake. Also, I'm horrified by the implications of what happens when that snowflake melts. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that the other day, but I don't think we have time to unpack
Yeah,
that.
no, that might have to be
That'll be for part
part
two.
two. Um, Well, and are there multiple Whovilles? Is this a like a multiverse situation?
Well,
I
we do
mean,
have
you
Benedict
got Doctor
Cumberbatch in one of them,
Strange.
so yeah. Uh, uh-oh. Yeah, we're opening doors I don't think we have time
Yeah, let's
for.
close. Let's close them. Let's close them.
Okay.
Um, I I'm sure you probably found this, but I just want to start with my favorite thing that I found on this movie that I had no idea
Okay.
about before doing this research. Bryce Dallas Howard, for those of you who don't know movie star names like me, was in the Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. Yeah, Claire.
Yes. She when I was telling Nick this, I could not think of her name. And like the one with the heels.
Oh man. She still can't catch a break for those heels.
And So Bryce Dallas Howard, she plays Claire in the Jurassic World. She was a Who in Whoville in the live action Grinch.
Yes, she was, because her dad, Ron Howard, directed the live action Grinch.
I did not connect that.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's actually one of my facts that I had later in the list. Not only is she in it, but Ron Howard himself and his brother both also have cameos as Who's in the
Hmm.
background. And the movie was dedicated to his mom, who loves Christmas the most, as it said in the end
Oh,
credits. Because I think
that's
she had
sweet.
passed away either right before the movie or during the making of the movie.
Hmm. That's
So,
sweet.
yeah,
God,
the whole family
I
was
did
involved in this one.
not, and I knew he was the director, and I did not connect those dots.
Yep, that's her dad.
Cool. Well, one of the scenes, the scene where he's the Grinch is pretending to be a director, with Max, was
Yep.
was improv, and Jim Carrey was t- t- I don't know, not
Making fun of,
mocking, but
kind of
yes,
playfully making fun of Ron Howard.
yes, and it
Yeah,
stuck.
the whole brilliant. You reject your own nose because it's a symbol of
Yes.
litter of commercialism.
Um, yeah. I didn't realize how much of this movie Jim Carrey improvised.
Oh yeah,
And I think he's probably one of the greatest comedy actors of all time, so it doesn't surprise
he
me.
really is.
But I did not realize how much him being a monster behind the dressing curtain
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Improv. Could you imagine
One of
being on that set and just
Oh, I
seeing
know.
him
I
do
would
whatever
love to
he's
see
doing?
what he would come up with.
Yes.
One of my favorites is when he goes to pull the tablecloth off the table to make his
Yeah.
skirt and nothing falls, so he runs over and knocks everything off.
Yes.
I don't think I could do that if I tried, 100 times, pull the tablecloth off without anything falling
Well,
over.
he probably felt the same way.
Yeah, probably so. So yeah, I guess then Jim Carrey is the best place to start. So him
Yeah, right.
and Taylor Momsen were the
Hmm.
two main actors for Grinch and Cindy Lou Who, which small little like side note fun fact. Taylor Momsen went on to be the lead singer of a rock band that I really love called The Pretty Reckless. And all I can really say beyond that about her is if you want to Google her, maybe do that when the kids aren't in the room. Because I've seen a few pictures of her album covers and concert outfits and things where I'm like, maybe not entirely family friendly,
Hmm.
but very good music though if you're into heavy rock stuff.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of change for her. And I saw a couple of interviews with her where she said she was known as Grinch Girl for such a long time, and it
I heard
bothered
that
her
too.
for a little while. And now she looks back on it and just like, she loved the whole experience, loved being Cindy Lou. So
Mm.
interesting that such this innocent character um, grows up to do this. And not that it's like bad stuff,
Right.
but like
But
you
it's
said,
just so different
yeah, so different.
because it's like, I guess the one thing I can say without saying too much is like, I've seen pictures of outfits of hers where she's on stage and she's basically in like jeans and a vest and a little bit of tape. So,
Yes, very
totally
different
different
from
vibe there.
Cindy Lou Who.
But good to see a child star situation that's, a happy story.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, she was Cindy Lou Who. I don't know if you saw this, but one of the other main stars of the movie, Max, was played by six different dogs,
Wow, I did not.
one of which was a rescue that Ron Howard adopted from a shelter named Kelly.
Oh, now I did read that Max was a girl, so I don't know how
Yeah,
many of the Maxes were male versus female,
I
but
don't know that much, but I did think it was funny that basically Ron Howard had adopted Kelly from a shelter. Kelly became Max, then they got five other dogs who had to have their hair trimmed and dyed to match Kelly's.
yeah.
so that you couldn't tell which dog was which.
And on that note, anyone that didn't hear last week's episode, Hollywood, Universal Hollywood has a Max meet and greet.
Yes. I would love to do that one day
Yes.
because it's just such a cute dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're the cutest.
Is there anything else in particular you want to go to next? I've got
Um,
some VFX stuff and some director information.
I have some more on Cindy Lou and Grinch.
Okay.
So Cindy Lou, you hear the line about, she hasn't grown into her nose yet. She's the only Who that
Hmm.
doesn't have the nose. That was apparently, based on an interview I saw with her, because they didn't want her to have to wear all of those prosthetics because of how young she was.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And they were heavy and they took a long time, so she did not have to wear the fake nose.
Yeah, she said they just put some blush on her nose so it at least looked a
Mm-hmm.
little bit red like the
Yeah.
rest of them.
The smile, the Grinch really exaggerated smile,
Hmm.
is not all makeup.
I believe that. I was trying to pay attention to that actually
Mhm.
while I was watching last night.
That
I was like,
is,
a lot of that's Jim Carrey.
yes, a lot of that is Jim Carrey. I saw several videos of him like meeting people at premieres and things, and they ask about, are we gonna see the Grinch again? And then he does the smile and his whole face.
Yeah.
That is Jim.
Yeah, he is one of those very few comedians and actors who really he's got a rubber face and it's awesome.
Yes. Yes. So
He can
cool.
make some crazy faces.
Um, let's see. As we say, the dinner, the 6:30 dinner with myself, that whole scene was
That
improvised. Which is one of the
makes a
best
lot of
scenes in the
sense.
movie as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Um, Ron Howard dressed as the Grinch one day, like went in full costume, directing the
I did
movie,
hear
dressed as
that.
Grinch.
I heard that he showed up on set in the full makeup and all, basically to try to empathize with Jim Carrey and with
Yes.
the Who's and what everybody was going through.
Hmm.
And apparently, before he realized what was going on, Jim Carrey thought they had sent in a really poorly cast stand-in for him, and then realized what happened. Told Ron Howard, sorry about that. I really appreciate the gesture.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, before we get too deep into the movie itself, I did want to tell you, speaking of Ron Howard and Jim Carrey, I had heard a few things about how the movie potentially could have gone really different as far as casting and directing.
Yeah.
There, because Dr. Seuss's wife, who I know you and
Mhm.
I have talked about before, I don't know if we've talked about this on the
Mhm.
podcast, was notoriously very particular about how she wanted the characters portrayed, and she's
Mhm.
also the reason we no longer get the live action movies, but
Yes.
kind of understandable
Yeah.
considering
They had two
considering what happened.
chances and
And they really pushed the boundaries twice.
yes, they did. I love it.
Yeah. But so she was very involved in all of this, and she knew just as much as the studios making the movies that they needed a big comedic actor, a big name for the Grinch. And apparently, a lot of people were tossed around. Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy at one point.
Mhm.
But apparently, there was a point where 20th Century Fox was trying to pitch a version of the movie with Jack Nicholson as the Grinch. I don't think I could
Huh.
see that working very well. I mean, he could do it, and it might have been a little, I don't know, maybe that would have been like a darker movie, probably. I
Yeah.
don't see him being as comedic.
No, I don't think it would. I think it would have been good, but it definitely would have been a darker movie.
Yeah. Which, speaking of darker, the other interesting thing is that before it went to Ron Howard, it was dangerously close to being a Tim Burton movie.
Hmm.
Like he was all ready to go, and then there were scheduling conflicts because at the time he was also working on Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
That's interesting. I think Jim Carrey was definitely the right choice,
Oh yeah.
but it would be interesting to see how some of those other actors would have done Grinch, like who the Grinch would have been.
The other one that I'd really want to see would be Robin Williams.
I think Robin Williams would have been cool, but I don't know that he would be a great fit. It would be cool to see, but I don't know that I would love him for that part.
I don't know if I would. I just think it would be interesting because I
Yeah.
don't feel like he's got as much of the sort of mean spirit of the
Yeah.
Grinch, but I do think he would have been really funny. He would have been good with the
Yeah.
improv.
Yes. I think, okay, the new Grinch, that
Yeah,
Eddie
okay.
Murphy would have, I think, been really good for that. Not Eddie Murphy, sorry.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. I was thinking about Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy
I
because I
could
have
see
another
that.
Eddie Murphy fact.
Okay.
But Robin Williams,
I'm
yeah, would have
curious if
been
it's the
great.
same one that I have.
I'm sure because there can't be that many. Um, they were filming Nutty Professor in
Yes,
the,
the second one.
right there, I don't know, in the same area, same studio, whatever. Um,
Yeah, because Rick Baker was working on the makeup for both.
And yes. And so there is a picture, which is one of the AI, and I see this AI, I'm like, that's not real. Um, and I was wondering why they would have put the Grinch and Nutty Professor in a picture together. And it's because that actually happened. The one I saw first
Hmm.
was AI, and then I saw the real one later on. But yeah, anyway, they were both in costume. Eddie Murphy as Nutty Professor and Jim Carrey as Grinch. And they have a picture together, both in costume,
And
which
it's
is pretty
wonderful.
neat. Yes. Yes, it is. It's when he's in his that German looking get up
Yeah,
and he has
from the yodeler.
yes, the yodeler. Um yeah, cool cool in there. And the let's see what else I have. So what I don't want to take over your thing. So most of what you have now is like film, not people.
Uh, yeah.
Okay, then let's see. I've got a decent amount on Jim Carrey's him and Cindy Lou still. So the the costume, which I know just about everybody, that's where it came earlier. I mixed Under the Sun and On the Planet. That's how I
Okay.
got Under the Planet.
Okay. Glad we
There we
sorted that
go.
out.
Um, so everyone kind of knows that Jim Carrey hated the suit. In the
Hmm.
horror makeup show at Universal, they have some
Hmm.
of the props from Grinch, and that's part of the little write-up with the Grinch props is about how he hated the costume, basically. And so we all kind of know that I've heard two different stories. One is that it was a CIA agent, one that it was a Navy SEAL. It seems like the CIA agent is the more accurate.
I heard him outright say in an interview it was not the Navy SEALs.
Okay.
It was a
So it's
CIA.
CIA that taught
Yeah.
him the basically how to withstand torture.
Yeah,
And
which I do have more detail on that if
all
you
right.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Well,
if you do or not.
you take I have a little bit, but you take it because yours is probably more detailed than what mine is.
We'll see. But I found a particular quote from Jim Carrey about what the how the man told him to handle it that I thought
Mm,
was kind of funny.
okay.
So he needed a weekend of training from a CIA consultant and lots of cigarettes to
Yes.
be able to cope with the stress of being stuck in the suit.
Hmm.
And I heard some people saying there was a famous story that I had not heard of him actually, I think, either punching or kicking a hole in his trailer because he was so
Yes.
stressed by it.
Yes.
So I thought that was
I
interesting.
I did see that. I think I saw actually a video of him. Now, again, he jokes, so it may have been a joke.
Hmm.
But I think it was an interview with him where he said he kicked a hole in the wall.
Okay. I mean, I would believe it from some of the stuff that I had read
Yes.
about the way this production went with him in the suit.
Yeah.
But the quote that he had from the consultant was, "If you're freaking out and spiraling downward, turn the television on, change your pattern, or have someone you know come up and smack you in the head."
Yep. I saw that one. Uh,
Like, yeah, I guess whatever you can do to snap
whatever you
yourself
can
out of it.
do. Yep. And he said he was chain smoking through the
Chain
movie.
smoking with an extra long cigarette holder so he didn't
Yes.
catch the hair of the suit on fire.
Yes.
Oh, it's out
Yak.
there looking like Audrey Hepburn in some lederhosen.
Yes. Could you imagine?
I know. That's what I would have loved to find set pictures of.
Yes. And this isn't just any hair. This is yak hair
Dyed
dyed
green,
green,
sewed
sewn
to a
into a
spandex
spandex
suit
suit.
with fat suit padding that weighed
Yes.
22 pounds.
Oh my gosh, that sounds miserable. And I at first, as I'm over the years, hearing about this and how it felt like he was being buried alive and all this, I thought kind of that he was being a little bit of a baby. And like, how
No.
bad could it have been? And then I was watching the videos of them put the stuff on his face. I'm like, oh my
No, it's
gosh, now I get
serious.
it. Now I get it.
I've I've done a little bit of prosthetic stuff before, and I do not envy him for that.
No, not at all.
It's rough to even have a part of your face covered for a few hours, much less, you know, well, I mean, I guess to get into it, originally it took eight and a
Right.
half hours to apply all of the makeup and get him in costume. That's where I was. So yeah, originally it took 8.5 hours to put on the makeup. They managed to get it down to about 2.5 as production went on. And it took an hour to remove. And he spent over the course of filming 92 total days in full Grinch costume and makeup, which is insane to me,
Yes.
especially considering it was all filmed on Universal Studios lot under hot studio
Hmm.
lights.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, That's nuts. And the set was there in the back lot for a very long time.
I didn't realize that until I started doing
I
research for this. They only tore it down in 2020.
Yeah. I would have gone.
Me too. I
Uh,
had no idea it was still
nope.
around.
Yeah, I didn't either. And something speaking of set that I was a little bit disappointed with in this movie is it was so dull.
I noticed that. That was weird to me because rewatching it, I was like, this feels dreamlike and like foggy and dreamlike in the way that a lot of those darker 80s creepy kids movies felt dreamlike.
Hmm.
In terms of like Never-Ending Story and Dark
Yeah.
Crystal and Labyrinth,
Yeah.
the feel of it felt similar to that. It was very gray and hazy in Whoville.
Hmm. And it seems like even at the end, when you would think, okay, maybe it's just part of the story at the beginning, the Grinch is
It
Grinchy.
would, the sun comes out and it would
Yeah,
brighten up.
but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the very end of the movie is them having the feast in Grinch's cave.
yeah,
It can't get much darker.
yes, cannot. The Taylor Momsen's sister was also in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the sleeping Who that was dreaming about the sugar plums when
Oh, when he
Grinch
stole
comes
the
in
sugar
play.
plums from her
Yes,
dream?
yes, that
Okay,
was her
cool.
sister. So
Huh.
there's a lot of family
Yeah.
connections in this movie. Um, let's see, we talked about this already. Young Grinch, which is really sad. Josh
Yeah, I heard about him.
Evans, I think is what his name. I butchered the spellings here. JPSH Tuna Evans. I must not have been paying attention when I was typing. Um,
Okay.
so Josh Evans, I think, is what his name was. That was the last movie he ever made. He died soon after at only 20 years old.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh,
It was sad.
very sad. Yeah. And Taylor Momsen, Cindy Lou Who, and Jim Carrey had a really good relationship on set. And I saw one interview with her from back then where she's talking about
Hmm.
how she knew he was Canadian and she found out his favorite Canadian chocolate and would bring him chocolate on set.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, this is really sweet. His special Canadian chocolate bars. And then the Who's went to Who School.
I did hear that. Yeah.
And
To
a
be
lot
taught
of
how to
them.
move and act like
Hmm.
Who's.
Yes. And a lot of them are also acrobats. And so a lot of the stunts, these are really
Yeah.
acrobats walking on top of these huge balls and doing the
Yeah,
flips.
I heard somebody say some of those acrobats were Cirque du Soleil performers.
Oh, cool. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I don't know.
Come here, bud. Madison. He's looking at it like, what are you trying to give me? As if he doesn't do this twice a day, every day of his life.
Maybe it's the weird textured cheese.
Maybe it is. This is not right, Mom.
I've been thinking about that since last week. I kept that in the episode, by
Did
the
you?
way.
Yeah, he is particular about his cheese.
I don't blame him, so am
Yeah, I
I.
don't blame him either. Yep.
Oh, I realized I was looking through my notes. I do have a few more production
All
things,
right, go for it.
like people and things. So apparently Ron Howard was not interested in taking the job directing this movie at
Hmm.
first until one of the producers convinced him to read the book. He said he had grown up with the cartoon and was familiar enough with that. He liked it as a
Hmm.
kid, but he didn't know if he was really into the story. But a producer convinced him to read the book, and he said he saw an opportunity to expand on Cindy Lou as a character and the whole Who society,
Hmm.
and he thought, there's opportunity to do more here with the Grinch and his backstory
Hmm.
and why he hates Christmas, and that's kind of where all that came from.
Oh, that's neat. And I do love how Cindy Lou grew so much because in the first movie, she,
She was maybe like two.
yeah, she was tiny and she said, what, two sentences the whole movie?
Yeah.
Still a very iconic character. Which is nuts
Hmm.
considering she said almost not the Grinch said almost nothing. You know,
Yeah.
that movie,
It
there's
was
not
mostly
a
just
lot
the
of
narration.
yes. But Cindy Lou, the character that she is in this movie and she sees things in such a way that no one else in our whole community sees them. And she's like an
Yeah.
advocate for the Grinch, which is so cool. And I wish they
Like
would have
even the
kept
one moment
that.
that really
In the
for the new one.
Illuminations, yeah, 10-minute warning.
Yeah. Oh man, I've got so much more.
We might need to do
I
a
think we
part
may need a
two.
part two. One moment, speaking of the advocacy though, that really hit me having watched it for the first time in a while after getting older,
Hmm.
was when the Grinch is stealing her tree and she says, Santa, what is Christmas really about? Which, first of all, is funny. He pops out of the tree and goes, Vengeance! She's like, what? Oh, presents, I suppose. And she says, I was afraid of that. I was like, oh, man. Like, she really,
Hmm.
down to her core, she is like, this doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
There's more to Christmas than materialistic.
Yeah.
Like almost every time she spoke, I was like, wow, this is a very wise child.
Yes. And and even the song.
Yeah, Where Are You Christmas?
Yes. Her character in that movie is such a good character. And I mean
She really is.
the one in the Illuminations one's not like she's a bad character, but I wish she would have been the same type of character that we saw in the live action.
Yeah, like it was nice that she worried about her mom working hard and all,
Hmm.
but that was about as far as that went.
Yeah. And like I feel like we just didn't need that. Like what was the reason for adding in a single mom that works too hard and loves her kids?
Okay, Reba.
Um,
Uh,
it I do wish they would have just stuck closer to the live action. And the live action was, I mean, there was a lot of it that was almost a shot by shot recreation of the
oh yeah.
original. And so
They
this one
they
really,
added a lot, but they did stay really faithful to it.
yes. And I
Like I
mean,
actually
especially, no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was just gonna say real quick. One of the videos I watched, somebody even mentioned that they were talking about the differences in adaptation, and they said, if you really think about the original compared to the live action, there he was going beat for beat, and like this happens, the Grinch does this, Cindy Lou does this. He was like, wow, that was actually an incredibly faithful 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Now on to the rest of the movie.
And when you think about it too, the live action is what, probably about an hour and a half.
Something like that. I don't
So
remember the exact
it's
runtime.
it's like an hour longer than the original.
Yeah,
So
so they had to add more to it. There's only so much you could stretch
yes,
that out.
yes, but so much of it, it really is so similar, so true to the original. And I just am confused as to why they took that two of those that did so well, and that the second story or the second version really built on the first one.
And they
And
decided to
now,
scrap most of that and go a different direction.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
By the way, the 2000 movie was an hour 45.
Okay, so a lot more time. Hour and
Yeah.
15 minutes longer.
Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that the screenplay was written by Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman, who previously had worked on the screenplay for Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I loved that movie as a
I
kid.
do too.
And yeah, I mean, I guess I still like it now. Just haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, that's a really good movie.
I
I
watched
like
it
that
not that
one.
long ago. I really do love it.
What else? No, you go.
Okay.
Yeah, do your other
Um,
stuff.
let's see. The story went through 8 different drafts, speaking of the writers, and that was
Wow.
mostly due to objections from Seuss's wife, who insisted on removing a lot of inappropriate jokes, including one that was a reference to a Jewish family in Whoville called the Housteens.
Oh,
And the
no.
joke was going to be that the Grinch is going around stealing Christmas, goes into the house, and there's no tree and no presents. So that he's basically goes down the chimney and is like, oh, my work here is done. Also, I'm like, it writes itself because come on, they're whoish. And I think we've killed Mallory.
That would have been so good. I mean, I understand why they didn't put it in there.
I get it, but I'm like, come on. It's like, how would the Grinch have known?
Oh, there, I I am really stop it. I'm surprised that they got away with as much in that movie as they did.
That was gonna be my follow-up thought to that little tidbit is if she said no to all the things she said no to, but we have all like if we have the Grinch making the mayor kiss Max right on the butt, what got cut if that's what made it
Yes.
in? How
Yes.
bad were they gonna go?
Yeah. Or did she not know?
Maybe she didn't know. I mean,
That
there's that.
has to be
There's,
it.
Grinch practically motorboating Martha May when
Martha
he
May,
falls on
yeah.
top of her. There's a
Hmm.
lot in that movie that I'm like, oh, they
They were
really
pushing some
they're pushing that
boundaries.
PG rating,
Yes.
pushing it to its limits.
Yeah. But she, I mean, we've read so many times that afterwards she was angry and said never
Yeah.
again. So she had to have been unaware of a lot of
Yeah, they
what
had
was
to have
going
slipped some
in.
things by her because it seems like she was pretty particular about what she did
Hmm.
not want in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also found something that said the movie was made in kind of an unusual way because they were so concerned about staying true to Dr. Seuss's vision. They did, I mean, I guess they do a lot of sort of pre-production, concept art and things to nail down the look early on, but apparently they did things sort of backwards in the sense that they were even building sets, designing costumes and makeup, and getting the look of everything done before they even really had a solid story in place.
Wow.
Like the movie was basically built and ready to film. They just needed to know what the story was they were getting on set to film
Hmm. That's
because they were
interesting.
such a focus on making sure it looked the
Hmm.
part.
And I did see a video of Jim Carrey in different Grinch makeups.
I
And
wish I would have seen that. That sounds fascinating.
yeah, it was. It was only, I don't know, maybe three or four different ones. And they didn't show a ton. It just kind of almost back
Hmm.
to back to back. And there, one or two of the ones on there, it's a good thing they didn't go with them. They definitely, they definitely went with the right option.
Yeah, that's always part of the fun of looking at that behind the scenes stuff is going,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm glad they didn't use that.
Yeah. And oh,
Speaking of four
okay.
different Grinch makeups, the Universal executives were a little concerned at first about making Jim Carrey unrecognizable under all the makeup, and they thought, you know how executives can be. They thought if they buried Jim Carrey under 10 pounds of prosthetics, the movie wasn't going to sell because you had to know it was Jim Carrey. You know, the
Uh-huh.
credits weren't enough,
Yeah.
which doesn't, that makes no sense in my brain, but I'm not a movie exec.
Mm.
So, to sort of ease their minds, Ron Howard showed them footage of Jim Carrey himself, Rick Baker, the makeup artist, and a few other people, all in identical Grinch prosthetics and makeup and fur, filmed scenes with each of them, showed them to the executives, and said, okay, pick out which one was Jim Carrey. And they could, and they saw him come through the performance, through the prosthetics, and it alleviated their stress.
Love that. Jim Carrey
Yeah,
was the right person.
he really was.
We have less than a minute left, so we're gonna have to do a
Oh,
part
shoot.
two.
We definitely are, because I've got like half a page of notes left, if not more. Oh
Uh,
no, like a page and a half.
okay, all right. Part two coming
Okay.
next week. Um,
And I guess Merry Christmas to anybody who celebrates, because next time we see you all or you listen to us will be after Christmas.
yeah. So if you have not entered the giveaway on Instagram, go do that. Tell us your favorite Grinch movie. You'll get an extra entry.
There we go.
Oh, this was fun.
It was very fun.
I go rewatch the live action.
Well, that's a wrap on part one of our Grinch discussion. We will be back next week for part two. And like Mallory said, if anybody is interested in entering to win the Epic Universe pin and ornament set that we're giving away and you haven't done that yet, you can enter at Talo Podcast. That's TALO Podcast on Facebook or Instagram. And we'll be picking the winners soon for that. But until next time, thank you all for listening and keep living the adventure.